What's up, Go enthusiasts? Yesterday we saw Alex defeat Li Sihan in the semifinals of the World Youth Go Championship 2025. Today we see him play in the finals. This is the first time anybody from outside of Korea, Japan, China, or Taiwan has ever made it to the World Youth Go Championship under 18 Grand Finals. It's been running for a while. This is really important. He's playing against Shim Hyo Jun, I think. I apologize if I butchered the pronunciation. This Korean representative is not a pro, but he beat the Taiwanese representative, the semifinals before, which is really impressive because the Taiwanese player is a top 500 player in the world, under 18. So this player beat that guy, and now he plays against Alex in the grand finals. Here we go. Alex has white again. He had white in both playoff games. And the Korean player plays black. Okay. So black starts with formation here on the left side, sort of asking to build a slightly bigger box than he's supposed to. Alex, of course, unpanicked, just takes an enclosure. Very normal, very standard. Alex likes to play very normal and very standard. So he goes and takes the extension between the two enclosures. He takes it on the fourth line. A lot of people like to do this on the third line, but the fourth line is totally reasonable as well. As long as black shouldn't really approach from the upper right side, then all is well, right? So black is going to play away, and later on, when white gets to play the next move on the top side, it's going to be more pleasant, the fact that that stone is on the fourth line rather than on the third line. So black plays this upper left move, and then black plays the approach, kick, and pincer. This is totally playable, but Alex plays against it really well. So like, from black's perspective, nothing has gone wrong yet, but we're going to see something go wrong in a moment, and I really don't know how black is supposed to stop it. I think, honestly, this get yourself kick pincered in two space, it's just bad if you play against someone who knows what Alex does. So what black does is the correct move here, which is the counter invade. Black can't just continue to defend this group. If that move was more passive and plays something like this, well, if white is going to attack this group and just naturally make a huge box on the bottom side, it's really unacceptable for black. I mean, white getting this, while black just runs out and white gets that too. Like, why did you even hop in if you're just going to let the opponent get everything? So black counter invades, and that's correct. Since the white two stones in the corner are still weak, black can get some counter control over there, but white plays this knight's move. And Alex is a big fan of putting pressure on a two-space jump by having thickness on both sides of it, which I think is a really good method. I know why Alex is a big fan of it. It's probably because it keeps on winning him games. Where right now, black has a really hard time figuring out how to take care. If you add another stone in here, it's going to be too slow. It's just going to let white get on top of you and then make a counterattack against this. So black really can't defend directly here. He does a good move, I think, of peeping at the knight's move from the other side, looking at that cut. So of course Alex should defend it. He just makes a thick shape. And black still has this super awkward two-space, and black still can't do anything about it. And that problem persists forever. Because what black is supposed to do is not do anything about it, play away. And later when white says, okay, I kill your whole group, and later I cut you off, and all this stuff, black just has to deal with it. Like, the strategy for black now is to be like, yep, you've got weaknesses to use. I'll just handle it this way, and then later I'll handle it that way, and then later I'll handle it the new way, and then the new... Like, black just has a problem forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So that's not something that this black player felt comfortable with, and instead choose to... black chose to attach here, which just lets Alex play peep and push and block here. Everybody knows that that's going to work, and now the two stones are captured. So the two space just got cut, and you might be like, well, yeah, you know, black is playing around the two space getting cut, so this is like part of the plan, right? But how can a box that's this big be part of the plan for black, you know? It's clearly good for white. White is already gaining. White is already winning. So that was really good, and frankly, like, the only thing that black really did wrong here was making the 2-space jump in the first place, at least in my opinion. Like, from the 2-space jump, the strategic planning for black should be, oh, I'll let them cut if they find a, if they find a timing that they want to go and chase off my tail, then they can do that. And white found a timing to do that, and black said, all right, I gotta let you cut. It's like all according to plan, it's just the plan was bad. So, yeah, at this point, the reason why black can still be at least mildly playable in the game is that there's a huge outside. So while white gets all of that, then black will get all of that. Oh, the black is bigger. Great. Good job. The problem is that white is super solid territory in the corner there. I mean, it's not super, super solid, but it's solid territory in the corner, and black's left side is clearly anything but solid territory. At the first step, white needs to take care of his group in the lower left corner, and black can continue to press that, but as soon as this group is just, like, acceptable, it's going to be able to save itself, well, Alex goes to reduce the left. And, yeah, black gets the push on that bottom side group. Alex needs to save it, so black managed to make a very solid wall on the bottom side, and then he has to go and attack the left side, which Alex got the first move in. It's pretty hard to attack this kind of thing, because basically any direction you choose, it will choose the other side and say, this way I gain power with a weak group, the other way you just get stones in the middle of your power, it's not as useful. So there's like no direction black can really choose that's going to be more valuable than the whatever direction white chooses after black chooses, right? So black correctly, I think, makes a longer form attack here, playing the peep like this. And the idea that black has is, instead of directly punching at this white group and, forcing it to become healthy, which obviously here the black moyo on the bottom side cannot match up to the white thickness. The white thickness becoming so strong here is just more valuable, and even white didn't have to be that passive, could come in and break even more. So black starts, instead of directly touching that one stone, and any direction he chooses being bad, he starts to involve the upper side white group. So now when he attacks that white group on the left side, it's possible for him to end up making a sort of double threat going on, where the top side white group and the left side white group both could suffer, and then black can make a real punch, can make something happen. So in the meantime, Alex says, you didn't touch my stone to the left, I can just take care of it. And he jumps down, and he's saying I can make base on the left. There's a bunch of eye space there. So black has to go and stop white from making that eye space, and once black has stopped that, white just has freely broken a whole bunch of black's territory. So basically already from now, this game is extremely, extremely imbalanced, where white, you gotta remember, this whole time, continues to have solid territory of, I don't even know how many points. That's ridiculous. And solid territory here. And black is struggling to match that with this area when there's a white group, like, literally inside of it, right? Like, how are you supposed to make a big area out of this thing when white is right there? So black starts with peep here. The reason why he peeps is not just because you should peep when you attack. You shouldn't. But he peeps to make that one stone heavy, because he knows that the way he wants to attack this is to at least get the chunk of the left side area, and then after getting the left side, to combine this left side group's remaining weakness with the top side white group. So white runs out like this, and black peeps again. Once again, believing that white is going to be much more flexible on the next move after black plays outside. And he's probably correct, by the way. If he had just immediately played here, then when white goes here, white is going to find ways to, play around rather than to just purely save the stones. Now, if black goes all the way in like this, I think this would probably be a good variation for white, although I haven't researched this. But my intuition tells me it shouldn't be that valuable for black to push through and cut after already playing a move in the center, when white can beat that stone and then reduce the rest of the area. So peeping first forced Alex to save it at this timing, and then black played from the center. This starts a particular kind of attacking. Actually, I really like this kind of move, the sort of knight's move cap rather than the direct cap. I find direct cap most people are very prepared for at the top level, but this one, it's more likely that the defending white player didn't read this one out before playing, let's say, the jump here. It would be pretty, obscure to read this one out, and sometimes it can cause some big problems. In this case, what black is trying to do is make it so that white must run that way. And at the end of that, there's a big black wall. So ideally, this will surround that white group. Let's see how that goes, because white has to attach, and black can hane, and white has to go that way. This is like the only way to do things. The problem is that now black sort of switches his mind, and he suddenly cuts over here. He should at least have exchanged this first before cutting. It's really crazy to play the knight's move cap and then allow the opponent the tiger's mouth, which Alex takes as soon as possible. Like the moment that the cutting stuff would not immediately super kill him on the top side, he takes this. Oh, you might notice, by the way, on the top side here, Alex did not capture the cutting stone and save in the corner. Probably this was also part of black's plan with this stuff. It was making it so that there's a ladder like this. You can see the ladder goes into the black stones now. Black is very happy to make that work. But yeah, so that's why white didn't capture. White should connect. Black could go here. But when white gets to go and play this one, not only is there like a half eye already when white continues to turn here, but there's also a huge amount of eye shape in the center there. So black's pullback is attempting to continue to attack the topside white group and the middle white group, but Alex is already pretty healthy with at least the center. So it's a lot easier than it should be for him to do some serious fighting, like jump. This was a crazy move. I might say it's the winning move of the game, except for the fact that he should have done things in a slightly different order. Yeah, white is baiting black to push here, and probably black thought white is going to block now, but white did not block now. White pushed here. And probably black thought, what? What are you doing? I get to split you. This is exactly like the global plan that black had to make this attack work, right? Originally, the attack wasn't going to work, and it only works if he gets to split through and attack both sides at once. And look, this is exactly what he's doing. So how can this possibly be bad? Alex shows. It's because there's not only two things going on the board at any given time. It's not just one. Everybody knows that. But it's also not just two. It's many. So white pushes here. And is not really acceptable for black to play some move blocking in the center and allowing white to capture over here. This would mean all those stones suddenly become safe, right? It's really difficult to imagine giving up all of your attack there just for one extra move and then somehow kill the white on the left side. Maybe if it works, it would be good, but it's probably not going to work. So black pushes and pushes here. Yeah, I think the AI recommended that black make the full squeeze like this, therefore getting very, very strong, and then to push here and kill the whole white. This was the AI way, but humans don't feel comfortable to be like, oh, I give you. White would get that, along with all of this and all of this solid. And black says, if I kill, I win. Black must have felt very uncomfortable, because if white lives, then black has literally nothing, right? It would be terrible. So black plays from the corner. This means at least black gets the corner. So he has the left side, he has the corner, and he has some continued attack. The problem is that white has sente moves against that now. So white will push through and play here. So white is saying, effectively, I've just about linked up. Just about. If black really wants to cut it, black can try, but black did not try. Exchanged a move over here and then pincered on the top side. Yeah, if instead of doing that, black would have played here, then this move is sente. If I can recapture the corner, it's even worse than before. White captures the whole upper left corner. It's completely unacceptable. So they were reading, black accepts, and then white push. And white can cut. White can even try to use sente moves first and make some fun some fun happen. This would obviously be crazy. So from black's perspective, black was actually supposed to play here to fix the cutting problems, and then he could cut. So now even if white makes some Atari, there's no way for white to connect through. White just gets this sente move. So black could cut like this. It's possible, but it would mean that white becomes very, very thick here. Actually, you'll notice... Oh, sorry, let me take the connecting arrow out. Yeah, you'll notice that this stone ended up being an empty triangle in that variation. So this was actually a small mistake. Alex should have filled a liberty directly, like this. The reason why he did this is probably because he thought, oh, black can cut in Gote either way. Even if he plays this one, black can still try to cut. And yeah, I mean, this is not really effective, honestly. That really shouldn't happen. I don't know why he didn't fill a liberty. Filling a liberty seems like it should be obviously better than pushing here when we're using the liberty techniques here. But for whatever reason, he didn't do it. Perhaps he thought after this one, then now he still has, now black still has a connect in Gote, something like that. So now or a cut in Gote. So like this, and here, then black would manage to cut this this white. Yeah, the problem with this response, which maybe Alex was scared of this and thought, oh, then I lose my Aji and I'd have to connect, and then I wouldn't be able to run and counterattack this as fast. The problem is that there's this Tetsuji at the wedge, which Alex should be able to see. I mean, when you fill liberties, there's always wedges like this, and this is a huge problem. Black can play like this, but yeah, white squeeze here is working, and then the black corner would have to live in Gote now, but black needs to sort of kill the white outside as well. So I mean, this is a disaster. White doesn't need much out of this. White just needs to save himself on both sides, and it should be easy from here. So yeah, white push here, not on the liberties, made it so that the fun things don't happen as much. And those fun things would have been good for white. So it was a small mistake, but still black has a really hard time of actually like making something kill. So he played this move, and honestly here, I feel like he panicked a bit. He sort of lost his control. He plays this one, pincer white, but Alex, and I think really every player at this level knows the right move to handle this kind of thing is to run out, and then the right way to run out is to touch this kind of stone on the top side, which is just going to be over concentrated and losing momentum really, really fast. Black did this one to avoid white securing an area with a Hane really fast there, which could have potentially made life. So at least white can't make life this way, but it forces white to finally go back to fill the liberty. Black has to fill the liberty. He noticed the wedge, so he didn't fill with the pure connection, but plays this one instead, which helps against that. But white can still push here, and black has to answer, otherwise those two stones die, and it's just, it doesn't make sense at all. And white is clearly gaining a lot of momentum against these stones and can still connect in Gote with the Atari and like connect whenever he wants. But first he's going to play on the outside first, because if black cuts, that would be Gote and he could kill the outside, so he might as well. And yeah, black I think was just losing his mind here. He just played extend. This is a very, very basic mistake. It punishes. Obvious, I think, to every Dawn player that white plays here. There's some kind of like AI brain rot that exists, I think, in us younger AI Go learners, which is like some shapes you've seen the AI say, oh, you can just fight around that, and oh, there's supposed to be a more interesting method, there's supposed to be a way to handle it, and you just sort of trust that there's something, but there's nothing here that black can really do to counterfight. White is just going to cut if black ever cuts, and black cares about the potential to cut white, so black has to save it, and then white can continue to make counterattacking threats and continue, and black needs to run all the time. If black ever cut, then white would surround and then kill black, and then that wouldn't work. So finally black has managed to escape with his potential cutting stones, so white just says, all right, now I'm connected. And so the whole thing is totally safe. It's running all the way through there and there and there and there, and it has counterattacks against the center and counterattacks here and there and there and there, and it's absolute disaster for black. He's calm for a moment. He plays here, and then Alex plays what I think is the finishing move here. Is not anything particularly defensive, anything that's like I win the game. It's the blue move he plays here. This is the point of his fourth line move earlier. It just means later he can play over there. And this is the point of his play. It's like, yeah, I'm like slightly thin here, so I'll have to take care of myself. But you have to take care of yourself too. You're still a thin group. You're still a thin group over there. There's no way you can like invade the right side. So I just get a free extra gulp of territory. And yeah, the whole black moyo there is just gone. Black got maybe like 5 points on the top side in compensation. It's unplayable game for black. So he's going to try really, really, really hard, and they're going to play all the way to the end game from here. He's going to try to save in the corner and die. It's all just dead there. Alex killed it well. He's going to try to make a moyo here in the center and cut off these 2 white stones, but Alex just gives them up. Sacrifice a bunch of power into the center. Now black realizes those stones were going to get trapped, so he has to connect, and Alex is going to chase them a bit. He just chases them from this direction to make sure he's super safe here and tries to build the bottom side territory. Black's like, oh my goodness, I have to save these connecting through there. There's no way. Let me just at least cut to make some counter fighting here. And the push is just relentless. White saves on all sides, keeps these stones surrounded. Black has the ability to hit that one vital point, but now he has to run back. He has no choice but to run back all the way through that very narrow path where he gets literally no value. And at the very end, white plays this wedge. Super, super mean. Yeah, black plays down here because if black would come this way, then white comes down and cuts. This whole black group would die in the middle of what is now white's moyo. So black comes down, tries to break the territory, tries to threaten the life and death complications in the bottom right. He's really trying. He makes a crosscut over here. Yeah, I really respect as well. After black blocked here, it would be so easy to be like, oh my goodness, some scary stuff, let me block it. But instead, Alex plays the blue move, capture here, the Atari there, recognizing that if he did just answer, then there's a sequence over here. When black pushes down, black can counter Atari like this. And if white captures, there's this annoying ko, which if you answer, black could block the whole area. Now, obviously white could fight harder than that, but it makes a lot of sense to just not, to not bother, and to Atari to fix everything and to keep this upper middle black group super weak. Yeah, black tries to push and go into the corner, but Alex has that all read out. He knows after Hane that he's alive. And black plays this really awesome Tetsuji. Actually, this is really, really cool. There's only one way, and it's super narrow for white to kill the whole bottom right. So Alex doesn't even bother. He just plays the tiger's mouth here, which is sente, kind of. Black can ignore it and then make something happen on the bottom right side. So he uses this peep, which Alex just answers, and then he uses this move. And now there's no way for white to stop black from capturing those 3 stones. They're just trapped. They're in black's territory, and now that's black's second eye. So he Atari is here, pushes, forces black to capture, and the moyo, the territory here, which was originally, the reason why white was winning was the territory there. Black has managed to break it. Hurrah! Maybe black is making the comeback? Nope. White just moved it. Instead of allowing black to break it for free, yeah, now it's all over there. So that's all white's territory. And yeah, white is winning by like 20 points. It's not a close game. White makes a very clear life over there, just plays an endgame. Black tries his very hardest. Black was trying so hard this game. But yeah, Alex could even try to make some cool Tetsuji here. It should be that the corner or the center dies. There's so many weaknesses, but instead of doing something crazy, he just reduces very gently and says, all right, whatever, game over. I'll play some endgame, play some sente, play some sente. You can see black is trying so hard, finding this endgame Tetsuji, which might gain him half a point. Like, maybe. It's a shame because the game is not even remotely close, and black tries so hard, but there's nothing he can possibly do. Alex is unstoppable this game. This game wasn't just Alex winning the World Youth Go Championship, the first player ever outside of Japan, Korea, China, or Taiwan to do so. In fact, the first player outside of Korea, China, and Taiwan. No Japanese player has even won this thing. To be fair, they aren't sending Nakamura Sumire, but this is incredible. This is the World Youth Go Championship. Each country sends one player, and this year, the United States player won. This is the end of the game. Yeah, Alex wins by like 20.5. Well done to Alex. This game, he was just unstoppable. Not all games are close or tense like the semifinal game was. Some games you just crush your opponent, and that's what happened here. Alex had this nice invasion to the left side, and yeah, all the way at the very, very beginning. This game was won by that split using the Aji in the corner. Black was so excited to cut and force white to connect on the outside, right? But what black didn't realize is that even though he did that, and it was great, and the ladder made it work and all that stuff, the Aji isn't over. The story isn't over there yet. So Alex just combined that with his continued defense, and managed to set up a situation where Black's attacks didn't work at all. It was really nice. Very, very well played game for Alex. Very, very clean. You love to see it. It's not just a win in the grand finals, but such a decisive win, a dance of victory over the opponent for the last 2/3 of the game didn't even really matter, to be honest. He could have yawned. I don't even know. Maybe he did. Maybe he was yawning. This tournament held in Malaysia must not have been very close to his normal time zone. Anyway, it was a great game. It was a great game. I hope you guys enjoyed, and congratulations, huge congratulations to Alex Chi, the World Youth Go Champion 2025. What an incredible thing to say. Wow. Huge, huge congrats to him. And I'll see you all for the next video soon. Bye-bye.